Hey guys, so this is the third installment of our VEX V5 parts. Today we're talking about brains and digital sensors. So first off, we're going to talk about the brain. This is what it looks like. It is the thing that controls all of the actions of the robot. It's where you put your code, where it gets stored, and where it gets run from. Each brain costs in the neighborhood of about $400. Some years it has been as low as 280, and some years it's been as high as 400. So I just round and say it's a near 400, depending on the gear. They will break if you don't take care of them. They have a touch screen on the front that can be broken. If you drop it, that could be a serious problem. So I need you to make sure that you are always running it with the cover on it. Do not run the robot with the cover off the brain. And don't attach the brain in some weird way so that you have to keep reaching under there and do stuff on it. It should be controlled from your Chromebook. You should not be having to take that lid off and press on stuff, primarily because that's not what we're doing. We're trying to build autonomous robots, so you want to program them. Now, the brain has some features. So first off, there it is. It's got 8 3-wire ports down here. They are labeled A through H. It's got 21 motor ports, 10 on each side and 1 back here by the power button. And it's got a battery connector, which is also back here by the power port. On the bottom, it will have 4 spots for you to use screws. Please don't use screws to attach the brain directly onto anything. We have special plastic attachments so that if you over tighten a screw on the special plastic attachments, it's no big deal. The plastic attachments are cheap. If you over tighten a screw that's directly hooked to the brain, that's $400 we get to replace. So please don't do that. Don't use those screws on the bottom. Trust me, you're going to save you and me both a lot of grief if you just don't do it. So, types of sensors that we use. We have 2 kinds. We have the digital and the analog sensors. Analog sensors measure ranges of motion. Digital sensors basically just give you on-off. It's pressed, it's not pressed. It's on, it's off. That's it. So, what's the difference between analog and digital sensors? Digital sensors send only on-off, pressed or not pressed signals to the brain. Analog sensors send measurements. They send actual data to your brain. So here's an example of 2 different digital sensors. The first one here is a bump switch. We have 3 types of digital sensors. The bump switch is the first one, limit switch is the second. We also have an optical shaft encoder. The bumper is designed as a button or a collision sensor. So if you were to run into something, this button would get pressed and it would control what it does, what the robot does. We've also got limit switches here. These have a little arm on them and they basically make sure that a part doesn't go too far or go past a certain tolerance. Again, they are digital, they go on and off. So those are our primary digital sensors. We do also have, moving me around here, we also do have optical shaft encoders, which we will cover in their own video because they are very unique.